Hey guys, this is Efren Lopez, English from English 504. I'm responding to the blog Teaching to the Machine. I thought this would be a more appropriate response considering the subject matter, and it started to make me think about Yancey, and she talked about genre, and she talked about genre and the kind of decisions you make about what you say and what you don't say depending on the form. And so I'm thinking now about the video blog form, which of course is something serious in the context of a classroom, but I was still confused about exactly how I should do this video blog. Should I write down a blog ahead of time and, read off of it? Should I make bullet points? Should I just go completely off the cuff? And I decided to kind of go mostly off the cuff, even though I've thought about some of this stuff, but I haven't exactly, I don't have a script. I'm not reading from a script. So, rhetoric and technology, right? I mean, I thought about rhetoric and technology a little bit, and just the difference between, let's see, several thousand years ago, before even print culture. I would imagine if somebody was going to do a formal address, like a speech about something, academic or political or what have you, they would have to pay a lot of attention to what they were saying. They would have to know how to read their audience, very acutely, because that was what you had. You were there during that time. You had a specific group of people, and you had to give the speech. And I think that's a little bit different from even maybe print culture, where you're writing a novel, or you're writing a book or an essay, and you throw it out there, and then different people read it at different times when they read it, and you have a chance to go over it. So it kind of changes, during that period. All the way to something like a weblog, like I'm doing now, where in thinking about the genre of the weblog, I was thinking about how I can edit this. I can cut out parts I didn't like. I can re-watch this blog and see if I think certain things I said could be removed. At the same time, the audience, if let's say the audience doesn't understand something I just said, they could pause it, rewind it, watch it over. They can pause it if they have something that they have to do, and that's just, those are things that weren't possible before this. So I'm thinking about doing a video blog of my research. This is kind of a dry run for that, and I was thinking about that in terms of Yancey and technology and composition, and how I'm going through the writing process. And you know if I wanted to do a study group, let's say I want to do a live study group where I invite all of us to the class who want to participate to talk about our research together, in a live setting, like let's say at a pizza place, or even at the library. It'd be very difficult to get everybody together. It'd be almost impossible to even get more than 5 people together, because of our schedules, because we work, we have families. So it's it's something that is difficult to do other than in this form right now. And I know this because I tried forming a study group 2 quarters ago for 501, and it was difficult to get more than 3 people together at once. We never did. It was 3 people could meet at one time, and then 3 other people could meet, during another time, and it was great. But there wasn't a ton of people that were able to, make up the same schedule. So I learned that this kind of model that we're living in of life, this kind of temporal, space time efficiency and production, school, certain things are only possible through the internet. So I can leave a blog, on my time, whenever I want to make it, I can make it, and you can read it whenever you have time if you choose to do it, and you can respond whenever you want, and I can respond whenever I want. It's like we can fit this collectivity into, we can plug it into our free space, our free time, rather than having to get everybody together in one time and space, like that person doing the speech that I talked about at the beginning before, 1,000 years ago. everyone had to be together and they can discuss it, and it had to be, there had to be a specific time for that. And I think it's kind of it's really exciting in a sense, right? Like you can you can have this collectivity that was not possible without the internet. But at the same time, it's kind of this dark side to it that I'm feeling like that it kind of exposes how kind of cramped and regimented our lives can be in this, I guess you could say, this kind of uh, place we're in capitalism, or the city, um, in such that it's only possible to have these discussions this way. And if we didn't have the internet, we would just have to go on doing what we're doing, either force ourselves to meet, which is an impossibility for many of us, or we would just not be able to have these collective conversations, and collective meetings. So it's kind of in a way, it's kind of a mediator. It kind of hides kind of how drastically busy our lives are. Yeah, so it kind of makes certain things possible that under our current kind of system would not be possible, or would be not so much not possible, but not as feasible. Considering our schedules. Not only that, um, we also live very far apart. A lot of us in class, live miles and miles apart from each other and apart from campus, which that has its own reasons, right? I mean, that there's we can go talk about that, you know. But the one last thing I wanted to say is that the technology also brings up the question not only of kind of how we talk and the time and space, but who can talk, who is able to talk under these technologies. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that I used as an example like the speech, you know, because I would think that if words and ideas are limited like they are, like they would have been in the past, then it became very important who got to talk, who had the floor, because you can't all talk at once. So it's like who has the floor. Now with this technology, who has the floor? Well, you know, everybody can make a web blog, anybody. Uh, you know, so that has its good aspects and its bad aspects too, as you guys are probably thinking about watching this if you've made it this far. But thanks for listening, and that's it.